The Somalis are demanding reparations because of what happened with ICE. Send a flood. Look at this. Can't make this up.
Fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount, and we have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand immediate help to evictions, so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
You know, as if several $1 billion in fraud isn't enough, the Somalian community in Minneapolis is demanding more.
Small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount, and we have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions, so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
You know, you gotta be fucking kidding me. The Somalian community have some nerve to stand there with their purses open demanding more money. Reparations, you could say. I mean, haven't the American taxpayer paid enough? I mean, your being in this country is your fucking reparation. This whole press conference is blasphemy. I mean, who do you think keep you pirates in butter and brickle? And then you hold a rally and this is your spokesperson? A person with an IQ of 40? And who the hell did you have lose their lives? I mean, at the end of the day, you had white liberal women out there acting as terrorists trying to stop ICE from doing their jobs. I didn't see any of you mummy-faced Durkas out there fighting with those crazy liberals as they tried to obstruct ICE, all in the name of protecting you. No. While white liberals was out there committing jihad against the ICE agents, you guys were somewhere hiding, stealing. Go figure.
What's up, America? The Somalian community in Minneapolis, Minnesota want $200 million in reparation payments. Oh yeah, this is not a joke. This is actually happening. So representatives from the Somalian community in Minneapolis, Minnesota have gone on television saying they want $200 million for lost revenue for their businesses throughout the city of Minneapolis. They're claiming that because of the daycare being shut down and investigated, they lost a lot of money, and they're demanding $200 million in reparations from the United States government and an apology from the Trump administration. Now that's a fantastic wish list from a group of people that already stole almost $20 billion from the United States government. But apparently, after being found out with all the fraud they've committed, they want some more money to fraudulently leave with an exit fee. Or $200 million more to keep them going so they can create more leering centers. But whatever the fact of the situation is, they want $200 million because the Somalian community feels like they were wronged by the Trump administration. And that's absolutely hilarious. It would be a joke if it wasn't actually happening.
When I hear the word audacity, what comes to mind are the Somalis, because what do you mean they are demanding reparations? Reparations for what? Now, allegedly, the Somalis in Minnesota are demanding reparations to pay for harm caused by the crackdown of the mass deportation of the illegal immigrants by the ICE agents. So let me get this straight. You come to America as an immigrant, you build businesses, you live in a state like Minnesota, one of the most refugee-friendly places in the country. And when the federal immigration officers endorse immigration laws, you're now demanding for reparations? We need to talk about this. I have gathered a few videos that I would like us to watch together. Every clip and every stitch, credits belong to the original creators of these videos. Let me know what you think on the comment section, especially if you're a black person, if you're a black American. Let me know what you think, considering that the black Americans have been demanding reparations for years, but they have never been granted the reparations. So let me know what you think on the comment section. I will be back with more commentary.
This is outrageous. Hilariously outrageous. Very bold for people that was allowed into a country to seek refuge from their own country who actually owes them something. What? It gets to a point, y'all's community that you demanding stuff for literally scammed the government out of $1 billion plus. What in a Twilight Zone upside down Freaky Friday Matrix type of shit is going on here? Cause you can't, what? Y'all sitting up here demanding things from the United States government that allowed you all to come in here to seek refuge. Literally over 80% of your community is receiving government assistance. Y'all haven't been paying into the system for centuries. Y'all didn't build this country. Y'all don't really what did y'all add to the infrastructure? Coming here and starting a business is not the same as building a country. Coming here and opening a daycare center and having your son and your cousin and your stepson as the kids that go to the daycare center is not the same as a hard working, we work so goddamn hard. Getting government handouts and assistance. What is going on here? And the fact that you even have the balls to demand anything is diabolical. Get them out of here. And I'm not talking about all for the ones that are legalized. They're living their lives. They're not bothering nobody. They ain't trying to get all up in the hoopla. Leave those people alone. But this lady and the people in the back of her, somebody, they need some BTA. They need a little bit of straightening. Because I don't understand how these people really... I'm trying to understand, why do these people think that they are owed something? The immigrant entitlement is a little bit diabolical. It's insane. It's getting to a point, because if Johnny had 5 apples, bitch, you already was allowed to come up in this country and work. If you've been in this country for 10 plus years, you've been able to work and get some American dollars to send back home. If all of y'all rounded up, all of y'all that work so much harder, y'all better than everybody, took all of your resources and went back to Somalia instead of going to Kenya, which is odd, and building up Kenya. That's another story for another day. If y'all took all of that back to Somalia with all of the money that y'all have, the cars, the Beamer, Benz, and Bentleys, because y'all say y'all all live in mansions, and take it back home, then y'all should have y'all a nice little city in your homeland. Why y'all not fighting the government? Why y'all not fighting the powers that be, where people actually owe you something when you were born at? I just don't understand this. Y'all think Somalis deserve reparations? Spread love is the Brooklyn way, child. And literally, ICE is literally only here to enforce immigration laws. They have immigration laws in every single country all around the world. I don't know why y'all think the United States of America is supposed to be this big, huge exception to the rule. If y'all was not stealing, scamming from the government, then all eyes wouldn't be on y'all. Y'all act like people just singling y'all. You know what? I'm leaving.
So y'all mean to tell me that the Somalis are now demanding reparations because of ICE? Are you for real? Are you serious? Because let me tell you something. That is the greatest way to start a civil war. Give them reparations if you want to. And the black community being promised reparations from the Democratic Party since what, the past 160 years basically? Like, be for real. Be for real. It's the audacity for me. You have the audacity to come to my country, to steal from me, and then demand reparations when you have literally done nothing. At least black people got a case when they asked for reparations, because they were brought here on their own. They didn't come on their own. They were brought here and they had to build this country for free. Okay? They were slaves. Okay? And we couldn't even get reparations, but y'all demanded reparations because y'all feelings is hurt, because y'all got caught stealing. Like, dude, baby, let me tell you something. This is really pissing me off. It's the audacity. And then you have a press conference to announce that you want reparations. Are you cool? Are you cool? Bro, if they don't round these mugs up and send them back to where they came from so they can have a greater appreciation for America, that's going to be a problem. That's what needs to happen. They need to go back to where they came from so they can realize just how good they got it here and stop reparations? I don't think I'm gonna ever get over this. I don't think I'm gonna ever get over the fact that the Somalis are asking for reparations. I will never get over this. That's a problem. That is a whole problem. And the real problem is, you liberal white people, y'all letting them feel like they got the power and authority and they're entitled to it. Y'all letting them feel like that. Give Somalians reparations, and that's going to indeed start a civil war. I promise you that.
The Somalis are the ones who brought this harm to themselves. They are the ones who endorsed this administration. They are the ones who voted for this administration. Therefore, it is very unfair of them to require the citizens of the United States to pay them reparations for the mistakes that they themselves made. Because they also failed to call out the people that were accused of these allegations, that were accused of these fraudulent allegations. They ended up defending them. So if they need any reparations, they should ask it from the people that allegedly stole from their country. They should literally stop these shenanigans of trying to milk the country dry. Some people are trying to survive. So many Americans are trying to survive. And the last thing they want to do is to pay reparations to the people that were never careful, to the people that chose to be selfish.
Somalis in Minnesota are now asking for reparations.
Relief program fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
Yeah, I think enough of our tax dollars have already helped you guys out plenty. So this type of person is somebody that we will call a gimmigrant, right? I mean, this is a person who essentially comes to a different country in order to live there permanently and live there free, claiming all benefits paid by taxpayers and have no intentions of working or abiding with the laws of that country. If they don't get their way, they play the race card. It's simple as that. So no, we don't need more of our tax dollars going into a community of immigrants.
One of the mistakes that the Somalis made was assuming that proximity to power equals protection. But that has never been the case, because power protects itself and not those around it. So they assumed that by denouncing blackness, somehow they would be accepted by the white people whom they assume to have, the most power. And because of that, everything the black Americans told them, they ended up spiting it. And that is why we saw them ignoring the black Americans during the campaigns and endorsed this administration and voted for this administration. If we're being honest, had the Somalis listened to the black Americans, none of this would have happened. Because then they would have voted for an administration that cares about them, an administration that cares about the welfare of its citizens. What brought up this whole ICE raids were the fraud allegations. And even though there is truth to that, I am 100% that not every Somali participated in these fraud activities. It is only a small section of the Somalis that committed this crime. But instead of charging the individuals that were caught with these allegations, this administration ended up punishing the whole community. The masterminds of these crimes were caught, but they were not charged or they were not dragged the same way the Somalis were dragged, because we know who they are. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because of who they were, because of who they are, they were protected. And as I said, it was always about making America great again. But now, the mistake that the Somalis made was assuming that they were part of the America that this administration was promising. The Somalis were not part of that America, but they assumed. Why? Because they were ignorant enough to believe that they would ever fit in. Now, after everything they did to themselves, they did this to themselves because they are the ones who brought this whole harm to themselves. Now they want the American citizens to pay them. I mean, how diabolical is that? How diabolical does that sound? The audacity they have to believe that the American supposedly owe them reparations is just on top of the roof. Because what do you mean? It would also be a joke to believe that this administration would pay reparations considering what they are going through right now. Like what happened with the tariffs which were imposed by Donald Trump after the Supreme Court ruled out that the tariffs were unconstitutional. And now many companies are looking to sue this administration for compensation. It will be very hard for this government to heed to your pleas. And so my advice to you would be this: learn from your mistakes and move on, hoping that you will make better decisions in the future. Guys, we have come to the end of this episode. Please note that this message or this episode was not meant to instigate any hate, but for educational purposes. If you're new here, this is Talk with Kate. If you haven't subscribed, kindly consider subscribing to this channel, like this video, and share. Until the next episode, bye.